Welcome back, everybody. You guys know me. I'm Elu. This is another episode of 24-8 Lou. For my YouTube people, like every introduction I do, you can find my podcast on all major platforms: Spotify, Apple, all of them, Google, all of them. For my podcast listeners, you can check out my YouTube videos under Aaron Michael Lewis. And for everything else, stay tuned at the end of this video. It will show you all my username and tags for the rest of my social media platforms. Today, as you guys know, I love talking about the good stuff. The good stuff. All right, let me stop. We're going to talk about the topic every day. What is your everyday? What does your everyday look like? What does your everyday entail? What do you do for yourself every day that helps you be you? I think it's important to kind of, write. I journal everything. First of all, I'm a writer for everything. Writer for thoughts, writer for music, writer for stories. Write. Because when I see it and I reread it and then I say it out loud, a lot of stuff just comes together. The power of writing something down and you reviewing it every day is top tier. But your everyday is so important because it helps you bring you back to you, right? We walk out into the world and we are taking all these punches, we're absorbing all this energy, we're taking all this information in, and we're trying to figure out the best way to apply it to our own lives. And if you don't know who you are, then what are you applying it to? You feel me? I mean, it's something important to that, to have things not just set up, but not just prepared, because things are going to throw you off and your preparation may not always be there for it, but just things to be there for you. For example, I wake up every day at 4 a.m. just because now I get enough rest. I mean, I go to bed by 8:30 or 9. I'm old, okay? But I get up every day at 4. I just kind of like getting up and when it's quiet, like my phone's not blowing up. The news hasn't even hit yet, right? You hit news from last night, but the news for today hasn't hit yet. No chatters around. People are still asleep and it's still dark outside, and it's so peaceful to me. And I find beauty in that. But even deeper than that, what I do, on my everyday is I love walking my dog. I love writing 5 new things down, or just 5 things that I could think on, brainstorm, something I could create off of, something I could, build off of. It may not ever happen, but I just love writing 5 new things down. Also, last year I bought myself a vinyl record player. I love music. I'm a big fan of music, most genres. Try to, have a great rotation in there. And it's something that I do, not on every day, but some days. But I'm saying is it's part of my day. Like, say if I'm having a bad day, I just want to listen to music. All right, cool. Maybe Apple Music, maybe my vinyl player. But putting that vinyl on there, letting it spin, dropping the pin, it's a whole vibe. But what I'm saying is, let's strip it down to the basics. The scariest thing in this world is the world that lives right here in your mind. That's the scariest world. Because what we make up, what we conjure, what we think of, the things that we build in there and create in there, it could be a light and it could be darkness. It could be either or. But I feel like, what are you doing every day to help you be you? Like a lot of us, we love Sunday Fun Day. My Sunday Fun Day is walking, reading, and like grabbing a cup of coffee and like just walking and seeing. Just not only creation, it's just creation within itself, nature, people. I people watch. But what do you do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Why is Sunday the only fun day? I try to find something every day that I enjoy doing, so I'm not like tapped out and I just need a Saturday or Sunday to lean on to recharge me. The Monday recharge may not be as strong as the Saturday or Sunday recharge because we just have a little bit more time to ourselves. But the recharge nonetheless is important. That's people wait till the weekend, which is 2 days, which is insane. First of all, don't even get me started on the work week, which is, yeah, you know what I'm saying. But people wait till Saturday and Sunday to be themselves. And it's like, wait, what? So what? Like, so all your life, pretty much, because 5 days a week out of 7, you're being something that you can't even stand to face. Like, that's a wasted life. And I think if we find these things that allow us to be us, even within the work week, even within the work hours, wake up early or just have that me time. I'm telling you right now, 2 hours, 1 hour of just doing things that I love doing and doing things on my time and in my space and my energy goes a long way. We always like to, I think it's so important to block off, times for yourself. You may just sit still and do nothing, but that nothing is you. That nothing is your time. That nothing is something that you wanted to do. People always think you gotta always be on the move and be doing this and doing that, and oh man, like you got this nice car, or we should go out to eat and do this, or it's whatever you want to do. Honestly, don't get caught up in the hype. Don't get caught up in a trend. I told somebody this the other day. It's crazy because I have a few friends that work in psychology and they're psychiatrists and they work with kids, adults, all this stuff. And to me, trauma is not something to take lightly. But you hear the word trauma and you hear the word toxic being used like it's some kind of a joke now. Like, and I feel like people are just wearing it as a new trend. And it's not fair to those that are suffering every day from it. The ones that stay quiet about it. And I want those ones that stay quiet about it to open up more, because it's like, trust me, it's tough and it's draining. And I don't like that it's sometimes used as a trend or sometimes used lightly, and people love to do all these things that are attention grabbing, but they're not resolutions to the pain itself, right? People think like attention will outweigh the pain, outweigh the trauma, outweigh the toxicity. It won't, man. Attention just adds to it and makes a terrible mix. It makes an awful mix. Like, you ever had, which I don't drink anymore, but you ever had a mixed drink that just tasted awful? You ever had just a mix of anything that was like, that is not for me, take that back, no thank you. That's what it does. Puts a bad taste in your mouth at the end. All you're doing is adding on to an already detrimental, like just a draining experience, in that you have this trauma. It may be yours, maybe someone else's trauma, but you have this trauma, and then you're making light of it, or sometimes people aren't making light of it, and that's their way of expressing it. Let me just go ahead and put that out there too, but you can obviously tell the difference. And sometimes attention is a temporary fix, because the attention does feel good. Now, I won't sit here and lie. I've been through that before. Thank God that I now know that's not it. That's not the fix. Attention is a temporary, like, ooh, yeah, that feels good. People are paying attention to me. Now I don't have to pay attention to the pain. Let that sit with you one more time. If you didn't catch that, I'll just listen to what I said. Somebody's paying attention to me, so now I don't have to pay attention to the pain. That's what it does. It makes you think that way. But let me get back to what I wanted to say. Through all that, through the trauma, through the toxicity, through the pain, through the stress, all these emotions we have to go through, what are you doing in your everyday to help you get through that, right? How do you get that? And on my last one, I talked about home. What does your home look like? And home's not always physical spaces, in the mind as well. What makes you feel at home? What brings you out of that, so you don't have to suffer through that on repeat? That's what it does. If you don't have something for your everyday to help you get through these things, then you're suffering through your trauma on repeat. You're playing the same song over and 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 over again. You know the song word for word. Like, that's how it feels. And I think it's important to do things to make you feel like you. Like, people use the word that feel alive, but sometimes you just need to sit still, right? You don't, like, I always say the same phrase. Them high highs and them low lows sometimes could tear you apart, right? Just that balance that you need is what I'm talking about, to get you through that every day. Because when you have that high, you want to ride that wave. You always want that, and now you become a fiend for that. And then that low hits, you have no idea what to do. And sometimes you find so much comfort in that becomes you. Either way, it's not a healthy way to live. So my thing is, like, what are you doing And this is not something that you should just be thinking on the surface wise. It should be underneath the surface. What are you doing to help you, be you? And I think it's important that you set up that type of space for yourself to help you through the hard days. I'm not always positive, but I'm always grateful, and I think that's important. I always appreciate you guys tapping in with me. I love doing this one. This talk was like a really good, solid talk, a really good discussion. You feel me? But thank you all. You guys know me. I'm Elu. It's another episode of 24 Elu. You guys know my mantra: sage, sacrifice, achieve, grow, exceed. And until next time, stay blessed. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Life with Lou. I'm Elu, and until next time, y'all have a good one.